Greetings, Bazalwan, in the name of Jesus. Today is day 289 of our Bible plan. We are going to be doing Mark chapter 4 and chapter 5. In these two chapters, if I was to pick up a common denominator, I would say it's faith. In the beginning of it, Jesus is talking about the parable of a sower, the one that we know very well. Sowing for me is the highest form of faith, because you sow, the seeds goes to the ground, and the Bible even says the sower goes back and sleep. He doesn't worry about how the seed is going to rot and spring forth, and then sometimes in the meantime, while the seed is rotting and springing forth, the sower would be preparing a storehouse much big, because he anticipated the harvest would be bigger. Yet he went to the field to sow with the seeds, maybe a bucket full of seeds. So that's the highest form of faith when it comes to sowing. But of course, in this parable, we know Jesus was talking about people, or he was talking about souls. And then I see his disciple in their corner. They ask him, why do you talk in parables? He says, you, because you are in the kingdom, these things will be revealed, or you will understand it. But those are outside, they fail to understand it. Hence, you see, even on our day-to-day basis, people do not understand how these Christianity things go, and perhaps say you are sick or you are in trouble, you just pray and say in the name of Jesus, and it ends there, and you don't do anything else. They're like, no, you should be doing something else. So they do not understand, because they're outside the kingdom. And then in verse 24 and 25, it talks about those who have more will be given to them, and those who do not have, even what they have, it will be taken away from them. I think there he was addressing the mental issues or the attitude, because poverty is more of a mental issue than material insufficiency. So people should appreciate what they have, and those who do not appreciate what they have, they will not see what they have, or they will even lose what they already have, because their mental or their attitude is not tuned right. So I think he was addressing that issue of attitude, to say appreciate what you have. And then he goes on to when they crossed the sea, in verse 35, Jesus for me was sleeping peacefully. Others, they say he was tired. People get tired but then fail to sleep. But Jesus was not necessarily just tired. He was a peaceful person. So even when he slept, he was sleeping peacefully, and the turmoil came up. But then right there, it was also another opportunity to teach, or to continue with his practical lesson of faith. He spoke to the sea and said, peace, be still, and there it was. And then he started teaching faith to his disciple, to say, if you have faith, you can talk to these things and they will listen to you. Until they wondered amongst themselves what kind of a person this is. And then in chapter 5 as well, in the beginning of it, we see him casting, I would say, unclean spirits, which were legion, on this man who was sitting alone in the graveyard and cutting himself, and people were no longer going that route anymore because he was there. And the devil keeps on fighting back. When these guys say, we are legion, okay, can we go out into the pigs? The pigs were the backbone of the economy of that country or that area. So devil knew that if he touched the economy of these people, maybe they will repel from Jesus and repel from his gospel and chase him away, so that it distracted the plan. But then we see Jesus healed the guy, and as he went on and get into that area, people received him very well. and that's where he did, his ministry was at the peak. He healed the woman with the issue of blood, and then again in the issue of faith comes in. He said, your faith has healed you. And then there was this man who came and said, my child is sick. And then his servants came and said, no, don't trouble the teacher now, because your child is gone. And then Jesus said to him, fear not, only believe. So the issue of faith, that's why I say in these 2 chapters, faith was the common denominator. And then he went there. Back then they had a culture of when someone is dead, there will be those people who are hired to cry and to make a funeral to be a dignified funeral. So these people, all these things were done, and he found them crying and said, no, stop crying, the child is asleep. And then he said, Talita kum, and then the child rose. But the point is faith. So let us meet together at 5 p.m. and then discuss even further. See you there, saints. Thank you.